Hi, I'm Shoestring J and welcome back to my channel. Thought I'd have a different view today, mainly because I am sat at a table filled with treasure that Justin, aka Mr. Shoestring, found in his attic, in his mum's attic. So he is a bit of a hoarder. This does cause a few clashes because I am not a hoarder in the slightest, and I'll try to get rid of stuff and he'll be hanging on to it just in case. So therefore he collects little bits and pieces, or he has done over the years. He doesn't really do it so much now. And his mum's attic is stuffed full of things that he's just kept hold of, he's come across, or he's deliberately bought thinking it might have a value in the future. And to be honest, some of it probably wasn't worth hanging on to, but it's not got a massive value. But it's very interesting. I've been going through some of the things, and I'm just looking like I'm at a tennis match because there's so many things to look at. I've been going through. I'm sneezing like mad because it's all very dusty, so I might sound a bit bunged up. Me and dust don't match. So I'll go through some of the things that he has dug out of his attic in order for me to sell. If you saw my Frugal February video, you'll know that I was trying to my aim is to make a little bit more money during February because January was a bit of a lean month on eBay. So the things that were selling was kind of bric-a-brac and collectibles and little vintagey pieces. So that spurred him on and he went up and he pulled out a load of things. So as I say, none of them individually has any great value, but it's quite fun to go through them and look and research them and that kind of thing. So I thought I would share anyway. So one of the most interesting things, one of the first things I'll show you, is this vintage Viewmaster Stereoscope. And if you don't know what one of those is, I'll show you. It's quite a bit dusty. It's made from, I think it is plastic. I wasn't sure if it was Bakelite. It feels like it's a bit light for Bakelite, so it must be plastic. And it's one of those things where you click that and you can see lots of different views. Currently I can see a view of the Cornish coast. So you go through and you can see lots of different views. Oh, these were simpler times, weren't they, when people were happy to sit and look at views of places they were probably never ever going to get to. Nowadays people just go, oh, I'll save up and go on holiday there. So see pictures come to life, the Viewmaster. And then you've got all these different reels. This one is Scotland. This one, Ontario, Canada, the Niagara Falls. I've never been there, so I'll have a look at that. Lake District in England. The World's Fair, Brussels, 1958. That's interesting, isn't it? A little bit of history. Another one of Highland scenes in Scotland. New York. And then we have the Atomium World's Fair in Belgium. I've been to the Atomium years ago when I was an au pair in Belgium, in Brussels. I did go to the Atomium. Another one of Brussels fairs. Brussels Fair seems to be quite exciting. Winter in New York. Another Scotland. Whoever had this obviously had Scotland and America they liked. Another Scotland one. And that's just the case from the Cornish one I was looking at. So it's very interesting. But as they say on the Antiques Roadshow, is it worth out? And I did a quick look, and this is probably the most valuable of all of the things that he's found. They have sold, I was looking at sold prices, from between £45 and £60. So I think I'll put that on £60 with offers and just see what happens. So that's number one. I've sold a lot of bossons because my mum had a load of bossons and Justin had also given me previously some bossons. I've actually got this very one on sale. It's been on sale for a long time. So I think I'm probably asking too much for it. I kind of thought that being a bigger bossons piece, this is made in England, it's chalkware and it's very fragile, which is why they tend to have a lot of these bumps on them. But I thought being bigger it would be more valuable, but that's not the case. People don't seem to want them as much if they're big, so I might get a tenner for that. The one I've got now, I think I've got on for about £13.50, and I might have to reduce that. But this one's an interesting one. I've never had a bosson's head that looks like this. This says, actually on the back, 1959. They don't always have the date on the back. Bosson's England. 1959. It does look as if someone's touched up the eyebrows with grey paint. I think people do this. They like to kind of renovate them, and I think they've possibly painted the turban as well. I'm not sure, but I think that probably makes the value less. But he is quite rare. I've not seen one that looks like him at all when I've been looking before or when I had a quick look this morning. So I may maybe ask £15 for him. I wish I knew what his name was. I just think Arab, black man, something like that. This to me looks like, well, initially I thought it was a Dickens character. Another Bossons. Yeah, it's actually an official Bossons. This one says made in Britain rather than made in England, so I don't know if that makes it later. Initially I thought that's Dickens, that's Bill Sikes, but he's too smiley for Bill Sikes, isn't he? And when I've gone through and researched Dickens characters, I can't see this particular one, so I need to do a bit more to see if I can find out who he is. But if anyone knows, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. I reckon probably £10 to £12 for him, depending on whether he's some super rare one, but I don't think he is. He's got a couple more bits of brass. You might have seen that I've listed a lot of brass items recently that Justin's given me. This is kind of a pressed brass jug, and I've got two of them. They're very light, and when I looked, they had similar ones on there that were going for about £6. So I think for a pair, maybe I might either start an auction at 10 or I'll just do a buy it now at £12. I don't think I'm going to get much more than that for them. Maybe £12 with offers. And the other big thing is this, which is quite interesting. I thought this would be of more value than it seems to be. It's a vintage 1960s Sabutio table soccer. And although the box is a little bashed, looking inside it does appear to have all of the bits that it needs to have. So I think my brother had one of these. It's just so ridiculous, isn't it? When you look at the very, very complex animated and computer games and things that kids play with these days, can you imagine them finding joy out of a little piece of plastic, little plastic man, and you just flick it, flick the ball around. It's quite funny, really, but charming in its own way. So this is a Continental Club edition, reproducing all the thrills of real football by fingertip control. Perhaps we'll have a game of that later. But when I looked, they weren't going for very much at all. There's an auction starting at £20. And when I looked at the sold items, they'd sold between 13 and 22 for that particular edition. So initially I was thinking, I bet that's about £55, £60, but it appears not. So on to the books. So I've been through quickly looking at these books. I thought this was Captain Pugwash when I first looked at it. It's the lost treasure of Captain Blood. Never heard of it. It doesn't look as if it's ever been opened. It's very kind of new and unread. I can't imagine why I picked that up, actually, and I thought that's not going to be worth anything at all. When I looked, one had sold at £9.91 recently, so maybe between £5 and £10 that might be worth. So I might just put it up £10 with offers and see what happens. And then I've got a couple of Blue Peter books, and this brought back some memories because this is my era. Those of you in the UK, did you used to watch Blue Peter? This is my era, 60s, I would say early 70s. This one I think was actually from 1971, yes, early 70s. They're not a great deal of value though. This is John Noakes and Peter Purvis and Valerie Singleton, wasn't it? They were all my kind of time. So it's just kind of an interesting little bit of memorabilia. It's picnic pasties. How to make your picnic pasties. It's really funny. And then this one was from 1982. And this was the kind of next generation Sarah Green. Can't remember either of their names. You'll know, I expect. Still sniffling with all the dust. But again, quite interesting. Just some of the programmes that they did. A Bottle of Gear. Love it. But they're not, like I say, have not got a lot of value. So for the two, I looked at them. The 1982 one seemed to be going slightly more, oddly. I thought it would be the other way around, but perhaps they produced fewer of them in the 80s. Maybe it wasn't as popular. 1982, sold between £1 and £4, not a lot. There was one sold of the earlier one for £1.99. So I think if I put them together and start an auction at £4, I mean, if I get £4 from it, it's £4 more than I had before, isn't it? Sorry about the sniffing. This one, oh my God, I loved this when it came out, even though I was a teenager, a bit too old for it. Fungus the Bogeyman. This is the original first paperback edition. And I reckon people are asking around £10 for these. So maybe I might do £10, buy it now with offers, but then I looked on solds and one had sold for £1.24. So maybe it depends on the condition. This one seems in pretty good condition. Can't see anything wrong with it. There's a bit of marks out. There is a bit of mark. I'll see if I can get some of those out. It looks like it's sat in a damp place for a bit. But so maybe I'll get a fiver for it. It's not great luck. Now this is Captain Pugwash. It's a little bit broken on the spine, but mainly the spine is okay. The Captain Pugwash cartoon book. This is, when's this from? It does have writing in it, which does kind of devalue it. It's from 1977. It's got "To Daniel, with love and best wishes from Uncle Michael, 20 pence." And I think it may have had a bit of pen. Yes, it's got a bit of pen mark as it goes through. This is going to really devalue it. Somebody's drawn on it. So it's probably not worth very much. There was only one sold when I could see, and that was in America for $40. I'm not sure that it's going to get anything like that. I think it's not in good condition. I don't know, perhaps I'll auction it because I really don't know what the value would be. Perhaps I'll start an auction at $9.99 and just see what happens. It is in not brilliant condition. I've got 2 My Little Pony annuals. That was I missed that. I seem to miss My Little Pony. I think I was too old. One of them is from 1985, one of them is from 1990. I know My Little Pony is very collectible. This one is not in good condition. And it's also got somebody's name in it. The rest of it's in good condition, actually. It's only that bit on the spine. This one, is that any better? Yes, this one looks like it's in better condition. This one doesn't look like it's been opened. It's in much better condition. Oh, no, it's not. Someone started the colouring. Not such good condition. So, because they're not in pristine condition, and I think that quite a lot of them were about, I think the 1985 one was going for £3 to £5. The 1990, someone is asking £10. That doesn't mean they're going to get £10. When I looked at solds, one of them had sold for £1.70. So I think £10 is possibly on the optimistic side. Perhaps I will start an auction, do the two together, and start an auction at a fiver and just see. But might be not worth much at all. So this was a surprise. Unfortunately, this Rolling Stones book does not have its dust cover. It's not in great condition on the cover. It looks like maybe he's had a leak in the attic or something. Inside, it's in really good condition. It's got all sorts in there. Marianne Faithfull. Oh, the Stones in concert doing what they do best, and that kind of thing. So it's quite a nice book, I guess. But it's a shame it doesn't have the dust cover. That does devalue it. With the dust covers, people are asking between £6 and £25, but there's only one in the solds, and that was £4.39. Doesn't have its dust cover. I'd say it's going to be the lower end. I don't know, maybe I'll start that auction at maybe a fiver and just see what happens. Let me know if you know anything more about any of these, or if you would price them differently yourself, because I've only looked on eBay. I don't normally sell things like this. I really have no clue, so I'm just feeling my way. This is a hardback Paul McCartney and Wings book. I thought it might be an ex-library book because it's got that dust cover on it. I still think it might be, but I can't see any library tickets. So it's quite an interesting one. That's the sold. There's plenty sold actually, between £4 and £9.60. So it's in reasonable condition. I might ask. I don't know. I might buy it now at £10 with offers. Or I might put it on auction. I have to decide. I have to have a little think about that. And then, this is a blast from the past, from the 1980. Do you remember, if you're in the UK, not the 9 o'clock news? That's where we first met. People like Griff Rhys-Jones and Blackadder himself, Rowan Atkinson, Pamela, what's her name? She's married to Billy Connolly, isn't she? That blonde lady, I can't remember her name. Gosh, I think I am getting old. Oh God, you can tell how old this was because you could still advertise cigarettes on the back of things. You haven't been able to do that for some time. So there's one buy it now for £10 of this. Auction starting about £3.99. So I might do that buy it now as well. I'll undercut them and do £9.50. So yes, blast from the past. I used to like that programme. This one, there's nothing else like this on there. So I don't really know what to charge. I doubt it's worth a lot. Again, it's got some drawing on the front. Somebody's kind of gone over in pencil, the animal book. The children's animal book, I reckon that's 1950s, don't you? It looks kind of 1950s, perhaps early 1960s. Could be like Prince Charles on his giant pet tortoise. It has no date in it. I can't find the date. But just looking at the pictures, I don't know. Oh, it's got such a musty book smell to it. Such a musty book smell. I'm trying to find some more things that might date it, but of course it's all about animals, so it's quite sweet. I quite like it, but I don't think it's probably got a lot of value. If anyone can give me any idea of the value of that, I might just stick that on auction for £2 or £3 and just see what happens. I have a little collection of the Dandy book annuals from 1987, 1989. Oh, I've got two of the same from 1987. One is in better condition than the other. So I was going to group these together, but grouping them together when they're the same is probably not going to work, is it? So they're not worth a great deal. They're going for like £1 or £2 each. I was going to do a job lot for a £5, but that won't work because I have two of the same. So perhaps I will mix them up a bit with these Beano annuals, or perhaps I'll do them all together. Just do the whole lot. I've got a Beano from 1987. That one seems to be going for about £2. This one's from 1985. It's going for about £5. And this one from 1999 is going for about £6. It's all a bit arbitrary because it just depends what people are prepared to pay for it. I reckon if I got a £5 each out of those, that would be really good. Maybe I'll mix them up. I don't know. Maybe I'll mix them up with Dandy. I don't think the Dandy's worth so much. Perhaps they just had a bigger print run. Maybe they just weren't as popular as Beano's. I really don't know. So yeah, because again, I'm learning. So if anybody has any information, then do let me know. The other thing I have here, which again, I don't think it's got a great deal of value, is a big bag of Dandies, Beano's. It's a free toy. I have to see if I can match that up with the magazine. It's a free toy that came with one of them. Oh, Superman action comic. I'm going to have to do a bit more research on things like that because I really don't know. I know the Dandies and the Beanos don't go for much at all. Conan the Barbarian. Another Beano. Some of them are in, let's see, these aren't such good condition because they haven't been in plastic. Mainly Beanos, Beano. The Beanos, I mean, I've seen people on like upcycling sites using the Beanos to like upcycle children's furniture. So it may be that that's the only kind of value they have. That's the Dandy. That's not in good condition. But they're a blast from the past, aren't they? I do find it very interesting looking at things like this. Ooh, what have we got here? Now this is a modern Beano with a free gift. Beano Max, is that? It's got a free Wallace and Gromit gift on it. So that's interesting. I really don't know what they're worth, if they're worth anything at all. This one's got a free gift as well. These are from, when are these published? I reckon these are 1980s, 1990s, because of the people that are on them. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. What I like is just having different things and doing a bit of research, even if they're not really, don't have a massive value in the end. Oh, this is a good one. Buster. That's good. I think I vaguely remember Buster. That was from 1993, so it's 90s. They are all vintage, but very variable in terms of age. It's 1989. What else have we got? Are the others all comics? dandy. We've got, oh, what's that one? Oh, another Beano with a free, it's got a Nasher freebie with it. I think they might have some value. I really don't know. But yes, I'm going to have fun going through those. I mean, really, it's a lot of work for very little profit, but it's good to list things that are interesting, isn't it? That actually you learn something from them, and that just adds a little bit of value in some way. God, my hair's gone especially mental this morning. I got rained on so many times yesterday. Haven't washed my hair today and I haven't straightened it or anything. But rained on, it was so windy, you just couldn't believe it. We felt like we were getting blown across the field in the dog walk. There's definitely a time I would not be out walking if I hadn't got a dog and he wasn't insisting on going out, because he doesn't care. The other thing I've got here, and the last thing, is I just showed you, I will show you, I'll insert the video, I just did a little video of just the inside of this box. It's just all little bits of china. I think these again have got very little value individually. I've got two of the same cup. They'd be quite nice for maybe, oh, this is silver wedding anniversary, maybe candle makers. People on Etsy might like those. I've got a lot of this same, oh no, that's a different one, isn't it? That's got quite a big chip in it. That's probably worth very little. Royal Cauldron. I don't know that one. Royal Cauldron. That's got no markings on it. These are Royal Stafford bone china. What else have I got? Excuse me. I've got lots of cups. These are quite nice little cups. Very shabby chic, aren't they? Pretty colours. I like those colours. I mean, you know, if you see my bedroom makeover, that's exactly the kind of style I like. Pink and blue. And then I've got, excuse me again, standing up, these collectible plates. Now I know I sold some that my mum gave me, and they weren't, I mean, then some people don't really like that kind of thing now. They don't have really any value. I remember they were all sold via the Sunday supplements, these kind of things, and they had limited productions, but they were probably limited to quite a lot. They don't have a lot of value. I don't think it's a look that people really go for anymore, is it? But it's worth looking up. We'll look a few of them up. Oh, this is actually quite interesting. That's quite a nice one. That looks a bit older, doesn't it? A sort of oak leaf. Actually, it feels like it's hand painted. That's odd. It's slightly embossed as well, though, so that's interesting. So there's a few things like that to look at as well. So I still have some research to do. So I will enjoy doing that this afternoon. So that's the treasure from Justin's attic. Have you got any treasure in yours? I know that we haven't got anything except old duvet covers here, and pillows, and all of my old yoga teaching stuff, and yoga belts and mats and things like that. Christmas stuff. Really nothing of any value at all. But some people have got cash in the attic, haven't they? So what about you? Have you got anything? Have you found anything tucked away anywhere that you consider vintage and interesting or valuable? Are you going to sell any of it? Or are you going to keep it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It all helps and towards apparently something called the YouTube algorithm. Don't really know what that is, but apparently if you give me more likes, I end up closer to the top of people's lists of things that they might want to view. So that all helps. Every little helps. I don't earn an awful lot from YouTube, but every little helps. So do give me a thumbs up, as I say. And if you hit your notifications bell, you'll know next time that I publish something. And that's it for now, though. I'll see you soon. Bye.